Hello, my name is Kujosi, the admin of FOREX Global. Today we'll be discussing on candlestick, introduction of candlestick and different pattern of candlestick. Um, Candlestick originated from Japan, and it was originated by a man called Monahisa Hama from Japan. And the reason why the man introduced candlestick pattern was during the time they used to sell rice. They used to sell like rice in Japan, and then this man was using candlestick to measure when the rice price will high, the price of rice will go high, and when the price will go down. So the candlestick was used to measure what the future of rice market will look like. So because of that, the thing was initially for Japanese traditional market until a man who came from the western part of the world, which his name was Steve Nielsen, came and then discovered this Japanese candle. He actually go through the process of studying the Japanese candle. He wrote a book on it and also introduced it to the Western community. And then if you really want to go through his book, you can go online, you can search on Google and search for Japanese candle by Steve Nelson, the person that introduced Japanese candle. Then Japanese candle actually is the most relevant and most preferred chart analysis that many traders prefer using because it tells you everything that you need to know in the forex market. Remember, we are going into technical analysis. We have discussed fundamental analysis. We have discussed sentimental analysis. We are under technical analysis, and Japanese candle is one of the technical analysis chart. Under technical analysis, we have line chart. We have discussed it. We have bar chart, and now we are discussing Japanese candlestick. And Japanese candlestick will show you a clear view of what a market looked like at that particular period. Remember, in the forex market, we have different frame. We have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, depending on the kind of trade. So when you say that you don't have time to trade, I don't think you really know what forex is all about. Forex suits everybody. It doesn't matter how busy you are, you must suit somewhere. Okay, that's what forex is all about. So let's continue with Japanese candle. The Japanese candlestick have a very clear picture. Why we prefer using Japanese candles is not that other chart patterns are not relevant. They are all relevant depending on a particular situation. But Japanese candlestick comprises everything together. It gathers all the information we need to know. If you look at this candlestick here, this is the buying candle and this is the selling candle. And another name for buying candlestick is called bullish candle. Okay, another name for selling candlestick is called bearish candle. So when you start hearing these terminologies in the future class, you don't need to feel or you don't need to be confused. Okay, now on this chart pattern, you are looking at a full body candlestick. This is a buying, and at the body of this candlestick telling you that this particular level here is telling you that this is the highest point market reached as of that period, and this is the opening price of that day or that period. Sorry, a buying candle, which is a bullish candle, opens from the bottom. This is the opening price, and it went down as low as this, and then later rise as high as this, and then close here. It always close at the top. This is the buying price. Like I was saying, this is the buying price. This market, I bought it when it was $350. Now it has risen to $590 and closed at $400. So you can see very clearly that this is called the body. This is the main body. The body of a candle tells you how strong the buyers or the sellers is depending on the candle. If the body is thick and more balanced, and have more length, more than the shadows, it means that the people in charge of that particular market, they are still strong in that market. But if the bodies are tiny, with time we will be talking about different types of bodies of candle and what they mean. So now this is a buy. Now if you see a candle that is as healthy as this, you should know that the buyers are still in charge of the market. The same thing with the selling candle. On this selling candle here, you will see that this black candle is called the bearish candle. Okay, this is a bearish candlestick. On this bearish candle, you look at the price open from the top. Now a bearish candle is taking price down. Okay, the price was at 400, it closed at 400, and now the price is rising. You want to go down, so it will open from 400, went as high as 500, and closed at 350. Now if you look, a bearish candle, which is a selling candle, open from the top and close at the bottom. That means taking price from the top and taking it down. Why a buying candle is taking price from the down and taking it up? I believe you are getting it. The buyers buy cheaper and then sell higher, while the sellers sell higher and wait for price to go down so that they can buy cheaper. Now, if you look very well, you see a healthy looking buying and selling candle. We call it, this is bullish candle and this is called bearish candle. Now, let's go through the write-up. If the closing is above, then it's hollow candlestick. Usually the place as a white is a down, it's drown. Okay, if the close is below the opening, then it felt candle. It filled candle usually display as a black. Okay, is explaining the rules that this body shape. It depends on the opening. Wherever the open is what you will determine. If the open is above, it's a selling candle. If the open is below, it's a buying candle. Let's just continue, but we have a lot to cover on this class. Now, if you look at what I was saying, as I said before, that the candlestick have different types of shape. When you see this shape, it passes a message to you. The shape of a candle have a message they pass. If you see a candlestick that is as thick like this, in a bearish candle, which is a selling candle, that is as thick as like this, what will come into your mind is that the candlestick, the buyer, the sellers are in charge of the market. The same thing, if you see a candlestick that is bullish and a stick like this, what will come into your mind that the buyers are in charge of the market. Once you start noticing that the candle are getting a smaller body, tiny body, it simply means that the body, the buyers or the sellers are weaker. The same thing, when you see a candle that is like this, it tells you that the buyers, like this particular candle now, when you see a candle that rise at this level and then it passing a message. What is the message? It tells you, it's telling you that this market got to this point, but the buyers could not allow him to go. The seller did not allow the market to keep going or that up. So they push the price and close it below. It means that the buyers are getting weaker. When you see a candle like this, and this kind of candle always appears at the top of a buying market. This particular candle, it only signals something. It signals that you as a buyer, as a bullish trader, that you should close, or you should adjust your take profit, because the buyers have gotten weak. They are weak, and the sellers are in charge of the market. This particular candle appears in a selling market. When you see price go down to this level and suddenly price now close with a bullish look on a selling market, it have a message it passes to you. You see, every shape and body of a candle have a message they have to tell you. They tell you this is it, or this is that, so that you will be aware. It's for you to understand the message this body of these candles are passing to you as a trader. The next. So now we'll be discussing on different candlestick pattern. And this candlestick pattern we are discussing on are the candlestick that appears regularly. The reversal pattern, whenever you see these candlesticks I'm about to mention, you will notice something. Whenever you see this candlestick I'm about to talk about, they always appear when the trend has ended. Okay, they always appear when a trend has ended. And number one, the one we are going to be discussing on, is called engulfing candle. Engulfing candle. Engulfing candle is a reversal candlestick pattern. Are you with me? This reversal candlestick pattern appears whenever a buying market wants to end and the sellers want to take over, or whenever a selling market wants to end and the buyers want to take over. If you look clearly, engulfing candle, I call it a woman with a baby. It will always have a smaller body, okay? A smaller child. This is the child, and the child must have the color of the already existing trend, which is, if the trend is a sell, the child will be a selling color, while the mother will be a bullish color. That's mean expecting buying market. If you look clearly on this place, you see that the market has been going down all this while. Suddenly, engulfing pattern appear. As engulfing patterns appears, what do? You will now know that this sell have ended. So therefore, if you know that the sales have ended, what you do is you close your sell and watch out for a buy. And where would your entry point be? You will look at the most recent candle that is higher than the engulfing pattern and set your entry point and use, okay, you will look at a candle pattern that is, sorry, you look at a candlestick that is higher than the engulfing pattern. You can set your entry point, then go the lowest peak as your stop loss, and then measure the distance between your entry point and your stop loss, and you set your take profit. If the distance from your entry point and your stop loss is 50 pips, you measure above again, you set 50 pips above. That is you measure above 50 pips plus 50 pips, you set it, and that is it. The same thing here. You see, engulfing pattern can be used in a selling market or in a buying market. Now, look at it again. The engulfing pattern that appears in a buying market. Now, we are talking about selling. When you see this particular one is called bullish engulfing, because a bullish engulfing is telling you that close your sell, the buyers are about to take over the market. A bearish engulfing is telling you that close your buy, the sellers are about to take over the market. And the model will always have the color or the body of the expected market. If the market is a bearish engulfing, that means the model will have the color of the sellers, while the child will have the color of the already trend, which is the buying trend. And once you see an engulfing, what comes into your mind is that you should close your already existing buy and watch out for a sell. Let's say this is a bullish engulf, a bearish engulfing. The one that is at the top is called a bearish engulfing. So when you see a bearish engulfing, what comes into your mind is that you should set your entry point here, which is the lowest after this engulfing. Which candle is the lowest? If that is the most significant, most recent low, is here will be your entry point, and this place will be your stop loss. If you measure the distance between your entry point and your stop loss, you set it. If it is 50 pips, you measure it 50 pips ahead and set it and set as your take profit. And that is it. Let's go to Elisha, where we'll be sharing more. Okay, let's look for engulfing here. Now, I'm going to search for engulfing candle. Engulfing candle appears at the end of a trend. Okay, now I'm going to use this one as an engulfing. I'm looking for a valid and a clean picture of engulfing candle. Although I saw engulfing here. Now, okay, let me use this one as this is engulfing. Okay, now between this particular candle here, this is engulfing. Are you seeing it? The most significant top. Now, you see this engulfing here. Now, if I want to enter this trade, if I'm trading candlestick pattern, this is engulfing. The candle that is lower than this engulfing is this candle, because This candle is the most significant low of the engulfing. I can set my entry point with here, okay? Then my stop loss should be here. Are you seeing that? My stop loss is here, and I will measure the distance from my entry point to my stop loss. Let's say if my entry point to my stop loss, we have talked about pips here and pipettes. 10 point make 1 pip. Okay, so I'm going to measure the distance between my entry point and my stop loss. This is my stop loss. If I'm selling, my stop loss is always above and my entry is below. So this 309 points represent 30 pips, okay? 31 pips. So this is 31 pips. So I will find 31 pips. This is 31 pips, exactly here. Here is my 31 pips. The distance between my entry point and I will set my entry point. You see now the market is gradually coming. It's struggling, it will break it and keep going, and it will hit my take profit. Okay, that is it. That is mastering candlestick pattern. If you really want to keep going in this business, find your way and enroll into CJ FOREX Academy. You will learn a lot. You will learn a lot. Okay, you will learn a lot on this platform. We are through with engulfing. We are through with bullish and bearish engulfing. In our next class, we'll be discussing on other pattern. Thank you once again. My name is still Kujosi, the admin of CJ FOREX. Have a nice day till we meet them on the next class. Thank you.